Why do you do everything right all day? Eat clean, exercise, sleep on time, yet still wake up feeling exhausted, heavy, and off. What are you missing?
Let's go.
Welcome to Xenex Hacks. Small hacks, massive impact.
Chronic morning exhaustion comes down to biology, not math. It doesn't matter if you hit the 7 or 8 hour mark perfectly. If you wake up heavy and unmotivated, your brain is actively being sabotaged chemically while you sleep. The biological tone for your entire night is set during a highly specific period called the hypnagogic window. This is the exact 8 to 12 second transition phase where you cross the threshold from being awake into being asleep. During this tiny window, your brain goes to work. Your subconscious acts as an active data processor, finding whatever emotion is loudest in your mind in those final seconds and sealing it like a letter to use as a biological baseline for the next 8 hours. If you go to bed carrying replayed arguments or dread about tomorrow, your brain uses that distress as a template for everything it does overnight. Your exhaustion is the result of a biological system repeating the specific pattern it was handed right before unconsciousness. The hour leading up to that hypnagogic window is a critical danger zone. Unresolved interpersonal conflicts or scrolling through an endless stream of information on a bright screen act as a direct biological threat. Your nervous system interprets both that blue light and emotional tension as immediate danger. It doesn't know that you're just looking at a phone or having a tense conversation. It responds by flooding your system with a massive spike in cortisol to keep you alert. This chart tracks a single sleep cycle, showing the inverse relationship between those stress hormones and your mood stabilizers. Notice how cortisol levels remain artificially high during the REM phase? Because the body is prioritizing stress management, it chemically blocks the ability to produce serotonin, your primary mood stabilizer. You can look at the exact same REM cycle duration for two different people. One goes in calm and generates the serotonin needed to wake up grounded. The other goes in stressed, flatlines their serotonin production, and wakes up depleted. The difference is the chemistry happening inside those hours. Researchers at the University of California, Berkeley tested an immediate countermeasure to this chemical drop. For 21 consecutive days, participants simply wrote down 3 specific things they were genuinely looking forward to the next day right before trying to sleep. Actively anticipating positive events primes the dopamine system. This creates a competing chemical signal that forces the brain to shift its focus away from threat management before the hypnagogic window opens, providing a more stable biological baseline. Once you neutralize that initial stress, you have to manage the exact moment of falling asleep. This brings us back to that 8 to 12 second hypnagogic window. As you feel yourself drifting off, close your eyes and bring up one specific positive moment from your day. Instead of letting your mind wander, direct your focus to the feeling itself, not the memory but the sensation, and sustain it for exactly 8 seconds. Look at these two neural models. The brain on the left is experiencing a real event, while the brain on the right is vividly imagining one. The exact same chemical nodes and neural pathways illuminate in both. Your brain cannot chemically distinguish between the two. By holding that positive feeling during your hypnagogic window, you force the neurons to fire and solidify. You are creating a synthetic neurological memory of a positive state right as you cross into sleep. The 8-second reset acts as a hard-coded biological override. By flooding your system with a positive signal, you dictate exactly how your brain processes data for the rest of the night. After that window closes, you enter deep sleep, which is where sleep-dependent emotional processing takes over. This diagram illustrates how your brain acts as an internal filtration system. As incoming data blocks, our memories pass through the barrier during the night. The brain actively strips away their glowing, volatile outer layer. It separates the factual memory of a difficult experience from the painful emotional charge attached to it. But entering sleep in a high-stress state entirely bypasses this filter. The raw, emotionally charged memories don't get processed. They simply loop all night long, meaning you wake up feeling the full weight of yesterday. The old advice to sleep on a problem is scientifically accurate, but only if the filter is active. Using the 8-second reset ensures that your emotional filtration system is turned on before you lose consciousness. allowing your brain to process heavy emotions overnight. The final variable occurs at the very end of the night. Sleep researcher Matthew Walker identified a phenomenon known as the threshold effect, which hinges entirely on the final 90 minutes before you wake. Walker's research found that the emotional baseline of your entire morning is disproportionately determined by the quality of this final REM cycle. Even if your night was broken or shorter than you wanted, a calm final 90 minutes secures your emotional stability. The background anxiety of knowing a harsh alarm is about to go off causes you to sleep lightly. When that sudden blast finally hits, it violently rips your brain out of deep sleep and shatters whatever emotional stabilization you built up overnight. The behavioral fix requires 3 adjustments. Set your alarm 20 minutes later than you think you need. Use a gentle wake sound that brightens gradually. And if you ever wake up naturally before that alarm, get up immediately. Your brain has just finished its final REM cycle on its own. Protecting this final 90-minute window is mandatory to secure the chemical processing your brain spent the entire night performing. Waking up heavy and drained is a solvable biological problem.
Yes.
A fully stabilized serotonin-rich brain creates a completely different physical experience in the morning. You achieve this through a sequence of defense, neutralizing evening cortisol with anticipation, programming the 8-second hypnagogic window with a positive feeling, and protecting your final REM cycle from abrupt interruptions. By mastering the chemistry of your night, you stop relying on luck for a good morning. You give your brain the exact biological instructions it needs, and you become the deliberate architect of your own daily motivation. And hey, if you got something out of this, if you learned a cool new trick, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, and maybe share this with a friend. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next Gen X Hacks episode.